Hi Seacoast, it's great to join you midweek for a little catch up. I hope you're all going well, enjoying the rain we've been having. I just have a few thoughts to share with you this morning about what God's been talking to me about. I was reading an article earlier in the week about the use of humour in communication, and it was discussing how a smile can cut through barriers, that even for strangers that meet, even when there are language barriers, when there are cultural differences, that smiling and the use of jokes, even if the other person doesn't understand, helps to multiply the building of rapport between two people, even with seemingly nothing in common. It was just another article I had to read, but as I was reading, I began to imagine Jesus, and I saw him walking through the crowds and interacting with people that were from different backgrounds. There were examples in the Bible, like the woman at the well who was a Samaritan from a different background, a different frame of life, and yet he was able to cut through and connect with her in such a powerful way. There are examples of where he met with the religious leaders that saw him as so different to themselves that he managed to connect with and show them the love of God. And as I was imagining these scenarios, I just started to imagine Jesus walking and the love of God shining out through him as he smiled at people, and not in a cheesy salesman type of way, but I imagined him smiling with a smile that says, I see you. A smile that says, I care. A smile that says, I understand. A glimpse into his heart that let the light of God that lived inside him shine through him and into the hearts of others. And as I was reflecting on this, I began to think about us in our everyday interactions. There are a lot of people in the world at the moment where their life has been turned upside down. We know that calls into services like Beyond Blue have gone up through the roof with people that are struggling with their mental health. We know there are people that are struggling financially. We know that relationships are strained as people are spending different amounts of time together in close quarters. And I began to see the power of the church, of all of us as we go about our daily business and meet with people, that we could carry that light and love of God, that with a smile, with a moment to connect, to see people, that we could share that love of God in a very powerful way. And I began to ponder, sharing with you my inner thinking here, but I began to think about the scripture that has often challenged me. It says that we are filled with all the fullness of God. That is really beyond my understanding. I accept it by faith, but I have often pondered on what that means to be filled with the fullness of God. And I started to think about that light within us. And I started to think about the way light fractures when it hits a prism, and that what we see as clear light is actually made up of all the different colours. And as I was praying about this, I began to see that the fullness of God that's available to us could be that it is all those different facets, those different colours of God available to us for every moment. In 2 Timothy it says that we are equipped for every good work. And I believe that we are able, as carriers of the love and light of God, to bring those different colours, the different facets, to the different needs in our world. So I wanted to encourage you this week as you go out, be mindful as you connect with people. Maybe it's in person as you go to the supermarket. Maybe it's over a Zoom call. Maybe it's on the telephone. But be sensitive to the needs of those people you're interacting with. Be mindful of what you're carrying. The word says that the fruit of the Spirit is manifold. We know that we can carry joy, we can carry peace, we can bring patience, we can bring understanding. And I just invite you to clothe yourself this week in that joy and kindness that is God, and bring it out to a world that needs it. I find that I need to remind myself, and I think most of us are like the rest of us, that if we are mindful and thinking about what we're bringing out into the world instead of being busy in our everyday life, then we can mindfully carry Jesus to a world that needs it at the moment.